Warning: do not watch this video if you're easily triggered. This is your host, and this is Dark Mind Forge. Today we're going to discuss the 3 things that Niccolò Machiavelli would tell you about human nature. Now, some of you may already know him as the author of The Prince, a handbook on acquiring and maintaining political power written over 500 years ago. A book whose lessons have been used by some of the most notorious villains throughout history. From Genghis Khan to Napoleon, Sun Tzu to Kissinger, they've all read this book and followed its teachings. And if you're not familiar with his work, there's a very good reason why. Because these are the lessons they don't teach you in school. The ones they hope you never learn. Because once you understand them, you'll never see the world the same way again. This is the warning of Machiavelli, the man who wrote the rulebook on power over 500 years ago. A rulebook that is still being used against you today. Warning: 1. It is better to be feared than loved. Machiavelli opens The Prince with a bang. A new monarch must be feared if possible, because it is far easier to be feared than to be loved, and love is unreliable. It's held by a chain of obligation which, because men are by nature wicked, is broken whenever it serves their purpose. But fear is held by a dread of punishment that never fails. In other words, people will always follow rules if they fear getting caught, but they won't go above and beyond if you ask them to. Think about it. The boss, who is everyone's friend, is often the first to be taken advantage of. The leader who is loved but not respected is quickly overthrown. Fear, in Machiavelli's world, doesn't mean cruelty. It means consequence. It means respect. A lesson that those who seek power understand all too well. Warning 2. The ends justify the means. Next, the most controversial idea. Although he never wrote those exact words, his philosophy is clear. A leader is responsible for the security and prosperity of the state. And if they must commit an act that is seen as cruel or immoral to achieve a greater good, then it is not only permissible but necessary. He argued that if a ruler is too concerned with being good, they will hesitate, and that hesitation can lead to a greater disaster. This is the justification used for countless difficult decisions in politics, business, and war. The question he forces us to ask is not, is it right, but does it work? Take, for example, the decision to drop the atomic bomb on Japan during World War II. It was a controversial decision, but it ended the war and saved countless lives in the long run. Was it right? Not in the traditional sense, but, as Machiavelli would argue, it did work. Warning 3. Appear virtuous, but act as needed. Finally, Machiavelli's most chilling warning for our modern world. He advised a prince that he should appear to be merciful, faithful, humane, religious, and upright. The appearance of virtue is essential for public support. But a ruler must be prepared to act in the complete opposite way when necessity dictates. A ruler should have a mind that can change with the winds of fortune. In an age of social media, where perception is reality, this lesson is more potent than ever. People are playing a part. They are building a brand. Machiavelli warns you to look past the performance and judge people by their actions and their results, not their carefully crafted image. The conclusion, the real warning. So here is the ultimate warning. I'm not teaching you this so you can become a tyrant. I'm teaching you this so you can recognize one. Machiavelli didn't invent this game. He just wrote down the rules. The warning isn't that people are cruel or selfish. The warning is that ignoring this reality makes you a pawn in someone else's game. Understand the rules so you can't be played. And remember, you're amazing. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, show us by hitting like and subscribe so you never miss a video. See you next time.